right into the stream.
Right.
Let's find out if it worked. In theory,
it did.
It worked. Dun,
Hi guys.
Dun, dun.
Hello.
We're back. We traveled to the future.
Yo.
You were just watching us in the past a little bit ago.
Uh-huh.
It's Monday.
Nilsson's already talking about Blood Braid Elf into Stone Rain. Everything's fine. Yeah, that's what we get to look forward to
next week.
I guess technically starting today.
Technically, it is now legal in Modern to play Jace the Mind Sculptor and Blood Braid Elf.
That's right.
Did you get to see any of the diverseness that was Modern over the weekend?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's the last bit of diverseness we're going to have, I would say.
You know, it's been a while since there's been like those GPs back-to-back kind of thing where it's like one over in North America and
right.
one in Europe kind of thing, or one like over in Asia and stuff. And it's always cool to see just the slight difference in metas, because it's not something most people think about. They think of, oh, there's the standard meta, and there's the modern meta, and there's a legacy meta, and these are the overall meta, but like you see it slightly in smaller instances. Like if you go, like the SCG Tour is kind of a good indicator sometimes of being like, well, normally you wouldn't see these particular decks showing up in the top 8 kind of thing, but it's in this city or whatever, and there's just more players playing those types of decks. Like, there was a lot of Tron in the top 8 of the GP.
There's a lot of Tron right now. There is a lot of Tron right now.
Yeah.
Whether you're playing the good old Battle Cruiser Tron, or if you're playing the new hotness with the Eldrazi Tron.
Eldrazi Tron.
And then there's, I think there was somebody at the GP that was playing Mono Green Tron.
There's a couple people. Actually, majority of the top 8 were Mono Green Tron.
Right. And then you have Red Green, Black Green.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, there's Tron is a thing. It's going to be a thing going forward. And it's like,
yeah, because guess what? My Planeswalker that I want to play as a Tron player, I can put out a turn quicker than your Planeswalker.
True.
Or your Blood Braid Elf.
You are correct.
Now, Blood Braid Elf is a little bit different.
Okay, so that's so like if I'm playing against a control player, which there's like 3 different control shells that you can run Jason right now. That's like the Jeskai control, blue-white control, or you can play Miracles. And that's again just a blue-white shell more or less.
Right.
But those are the 3 ways that you're seeing Jace the most. You could probably jam him in anything that's running blue, though. So have fun with that. Blood Braid Elf is, of course, the red-green. So you're going to be seeing Jund do quite well. Also, there's going to be some tweaks to Ponza. Somebody was already chatting up about Blood Braid Elf into Stone Rain. That's going to be a thing that you guys are going to have to be aware of. And that's a great way to say, bye-bye, Tron. I'm going to hate on you a little bit. So that, like, Karn doesn't do so well against Blood Braid Elf because it's a haster, right? It's going to come down and come at Karn right away kind of thing, and it's going to cast something else for free. But against Jace, if you're like, well, I can't bounce Karn because I'm only unsummoning a creature with Jace, right? I can't sit there and do anything to Karn unless I'm like, Cryptic Command, bounce it to your hand? Like, that doesn't seem good, right? So I think Tron is going to be positioned well, and we're going to see this like shift of like you're either playing like these mid-rangey or like control-y stuff, you're playing like Tron to try to beat those strategies, or you're playing something super quick and ignoring what all those decks are doing and just trying to combo off in some sort of way. Gifts will continue to be a popular thing to try to do, just to try to go quick kind of thing. Ad nauseum, these combo decks, I'm hoping, in fact, will do alright, especially if there's going to be more Tron running around. That's the place that we need to be in. More, in fact.
Boy, I just am super glad that we're moving into this new frontier.
This new frontier, Modern was so...
It was
horrible.
Terrible. It was awful.
There was no diversity in the deck building, in the format. Even just seeing, like, there was a whole article on Goldfish about the Hollow One deck, where like 6 months ago it was a complete different variant than what it is now. And it's like, Modern is so great that it can change like this. And even the human stack, the tweaking, the changing, and optimizing of it to what it is now, from where it started. It's like, do you, like, what? No. Doesn't. Now we're going to change meta again. And
it is. You're either going to play Jace the Mind Sculptor, you're going to play Bloodbraid Elf, or you're going to play Tron.
Or something to beat all
Or something to beat any of them. That's what it's going to turn into. We're not going to play all the fun stuff. That's just my opinion.
Now, I think
I could be wrong.
The Hollow One deck is going to do well.
You think?
I think it is because it's going to do well in very particular settings, right? If it can do well with its draws and get lucky, because it's a luck-based deck.
How lucky do you think they are?
Well, when you have to draw 4 cards and discard 3 of them,
yeah.
Or draw 3, discard 3, and like hope that I'm hoping that one of my threats doesn't get discarded. That's pretty lucky, I've got to say.
You put the keyword is hope.
Yes.
You are hoping that X is going to happen.
Right.
You're hoping that your draw is going to be good enough out of that Burning Inquiry that it's going to get you what you need. You're going to hope that Goblin Lore is going to get it.
It does pretty well, though.
Can you hope in the eyes of a Bloodbraid Elf or
now,
a Jace the Mind Sculptor?
Against Jace, if you're on that Pierce strategy with just a Hollow One out and you haven't been able to reoccur any of your other creatures, you're not going to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because then, all that work I did to make him free, now he's out. Sweet. And, you're just going to bounce it back to my hand? Yeah, okay. That doesn't seem good. But if it's like, I'm going to try to go wide, I'm going to, bring my Phoenix back, I'll be able to get my Vampire Spirit back, and, look, I'm going to try to get you kind of thing. But I think against Bloodbraid, the deck can still do well. I don't know. Jace is going to have fun if it's just like, look at all this, I'm discarding all these things, here's this Hollow One. Pass. Okay, untap, Jace. Unsummon. Sorry. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see.
But it's okay, because the way Modern Magic Mondays works is we actually record the videos from last week and present them to you this week. So this Monday is the final frontier. This is the last week.
We had 21 players show up last week.
We had 21?
I believe that was
really?
21 players show up.
Wow.
Yeah.
21 players. There's
5
not
rounds
a
covered.
Jace the Mind Sculptor, a Bloodbraid Elf to be seen tonight.
No.
This is our last week before the meta shifts.
Don't worry, you'll see it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll guarantee see at least one on camera. I don't want to show the same deck over and over again, or the same player over and over again if we can help it. But I know a lot of people are clamoring to try to figure out how it fits in the meta and how it works out. So we'll be showing as much as we can. But we've got some exciting rounds to start with tonight. One of the decks that we were discussing, I think, is round 1. Let's find out. Aha! It is.
What's he doing? He's not playing Burn?
Not playing Burn, not playing Humans. He had this list and almost played it at the Invitational. But now he says, I'm gonna try this. He got lucky too with picking up like the Goblin Lores and stuff early. Him and TJ were able to get some before they like super skyrocketed in price.
Right.
Which is nice. Like when you can sit there and go, okay, cool. There's this new hotness running around, some updated stuff.
You are welcome, by the way. Again. I'm glad I brought that into your life, that phrase.
I never would have used it.
You are sitting there wondering, how am I going to spice up my dialogue on stream?
There's only one way.
There's only one way. Brett, what do you got for me?
So, we've got a season champ on stream tonight, Jeremy Miller. Missed out on week number 2. So, coming back week number 3, saying, you know what, the deck is really fun? Tron.
Yeah.
I'm going to play some Tron.
Boy howdy.
I was having a conversation with Jaime about Tron over the weekend because we were watching the GP and stuff like that. And there was so much Tron.
Right.
And there was still this discussion of Tron as the enemy. Right? I was seeing some pros tweet about it and a couple other people say, but I was telling him, I was like, Tron will always be the enemy. But his argument is that there's other decks out there that are doing crazier stuff than him just playing 3 lands, right, and making all this mana. And I said, you're right. Modern is a very diverse format, or at least it was a very diverse format. And you
rip
can do,
Modern 2018.
You can do some crazy things. But I still think Tron is the enemy, just like Eldrazi is the enemy, right? I feel like those two are the enemy.
I mean, I'm not gonna even try to defend Tron because it would be ridiculous to hear those words come out of my mouth. But I mean, honestly, the thing about Tron that makes it unfair, and I would use that with quotes, unfair, is you play 3 lands and you get to play some of the most back-breaking cards that the format has seen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like Ulamog, the Ceasel's Hunger. You know,
I hate that card.
That card can. I mean, it's just like lights out. Unless you're already in a state where you have enough lands. Because normally, when an Ulamog comes out, it's like what, turn 4? Turn 4, turn 5.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you're losing 2 lands, and depending on what you're playing, those 2 lands could essentially mean that's it for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Or, everyone's favorite blue card, Karn Liberated.
Yeah.
There's just so many cards that the deck... Ugin the Spirit Dragon. There's so many cards that the deck can play that just hose you.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, okay, you did that for 3-4 mana, where I'm sitting here trying to scrounge to slog through.
Yeah, we've also talked about the... top deck mode of the deck.
You'll see this quite frequently with Jeremy.
It gets so much better, too. All right.
Blood Crypt is coming down for Keenan. He's going to take 2 damage off of that.
Yeah, starting things out, probably going to have a Faithless Looting or something like that available to him to drop down.
It's actually going to be Burning Inquiry.
Even better.
Which... could help Keenan in the Tron matchup.
Yeah, you could make your opponent discard some Tron lands.
You could. But you know what? That I've seen, especially this weekend, is Tron players that will, on turn 2, try to play Sylvan Scrying, and then just to fake like they need a Tron piece, and then they just have it anyway.
Oh, yeah. That was something I was noticing.
Yep.
It says, these 3.
Okay.
We'll get rid of those 3.
Yep. And then Keenan says this one,
no,
not that one, and this one. Okay.
How many Tron pieces?
0.
0. He's hitting none.
I see at least 1 Grove, and it's right in the light, so I can tell you it's a Grove of the Burnwells and probably a Star or Sphere.
That would make sense.
And there is a Street Wraith, where it does not need to be. Mine into a map.
Alright. I feel like Keenan's probably got some more shocking that he wants to do.
Well, he did, but then he got discarded.
Well, right, but no, I feel like, he's probably got a shock land available to him that he'll want to play. Hey, see, looks like he's got a fetch as well. Maybe he's debating about Burning Inquiry again?
Maybe. Burning Catacombs. Here's another Burning Inquiry. He's kind of land heavy.
He is. So that seems like a great...
Oh, just kidding. Wait.
What just happened?
Did he have to discard that? Or is he fetching in response to his Burning Inquiry? But he untapped his red.
I don't know what just happened.
Oh, you know what? I think I heard that he almost cheated. Or maybe he did cheat. But it seems very deliberate.
Well, he's at 17 regardless of what is happening here.
Brutality, discarding, Bloodghast. Nope. Yep. Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense to have
instant or sorcery and
drain and gain.
Yeah.
It's Pyroclasm. So it looks like Jeremy's back on the red-green plan.
I think it's where you need to be.
Mm-hmm. Ancient Strings was sent to the bin.
And that's absolutely the card that needs to go.
Yeah.
Ancient Stirrings is such a difficult card to deal with and such a good card for a Tron player.
Yeah, but there was like Karn and some other annoying payoff cards that were in Jeremy's hand.
Sure, he's already got it. Well, okay. We're on turn 3. Just to keep you guys aware of the situation, here comes a mountain and blood gas.
Landfall trigger.
Yep, blood gas is going to come down. Here is a flame blade adept. Nope. We're going to go with the Phoenix instead.
Phoenix is scary. Like you'd expect from a Phoenix, it will come back. Does have haste.
Is it 2?
2. Tron is assembled.
Wait, why is he tapping mana but not doing anything?
Who?
Keenan. Is the Phoenix 3?
It must be.
Okay. Relic and Worm Coil Engine. The Relic's going to go ahead and say, let's take a card.
Relic does help out because if he can find a way to kill both those creatures,
Just drew another Phoenix.
while the trigger's on the stack, he can sit there and exile them all.
So, 4 damage.
Yep, just fly right over top.
Man, this black-red hollow one's it's a sweet value deck.
I mean, this is its sort of go wide style, right? It's not getting this whole... Not going to rely so much on that one hollow one to come out. And, oh, yep, that's the one that I hate.
Hey, Ulamog.
What do we exile here?
Take your 2 red sources.
Well, I like the 2 black sources. Like... just in case he draws like a Thoughtseize or, you know, something along those lines.
Oh! And the game's over!
Wow!
No way! You don't say. Ulamog came
ends
down,
games.
takes 2 cards away, happen to be lands,
Yep.
and the game's over.
It's crazy how that works.
Huh. You don't say. Tron's not the enemy, though.
Nah. Yeah, so it looks like Jeremy's looking through his board, seeing what's available. That was one of the things I noticed too, is that one of the matches at the GP, I think it was the semifinals, Mono Green Tron versus Red Green Eldrazi, and the guy was sitting with like all green cards in his hand pretty much, but no green sources and no way to cast it. Well, like no mana source, mana stones or anything available to him, kind of thing. Like part of it was Crumble to Dust came out and ruined his day every single match.
Sure,
but, that's Crumble to Dust. I love it. Big fan of that card. Just because I can hate on other people with it, and I like hating on people.
Yep.
So, can Keenan get some Goblin Lores going this time? Do you think he's got what it takes to speed out quicker than Jeremy? Now, he does have access to red. Could he have Crumble to Dust or something crazy in his board?
Keenan?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to play Crumble to Dust in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
It seems...
Might be too slow.
I think it's too slow. You want to just dump your mana into more creatures or spells that are going to get the creatures out, or for discard spells, and Crumble to Dust is not a discard spell.
Right.
Well, essentially, it's not a discard spell. He could. But, I don't know. It doesn't seem like what the Black-Red Hollow One player wants to be doing.
No. Well, there's 2 Hollow Ones in hand.
Sure, but how is the rest of the hand? Lands. Jeremy's not a fan of his. Keenan looks like he's keeping. We're going to have a conversation, my friend, because I have I've made sure to keep, after watching the GP, there was a situation that I want to get your opinion on.
Ooh, good.
Yeah. It's very important. I think it's a Blood Gas, 2 Hollow Ones, at least 2 lands, I think. And I think a Burning Inquiry.
That would help a lot. It looks like Jeremy was sitting there with some... I saw at least an Ugin, but I don't know what else he was sitting at. Probably not enough lands, but...
He says, yeah, I can't go past 5. Let's scry that to the bottom.
Oof.
And
that shock.
Keenan says...
Let's go to 17.
Yep. Gets a Blood Crypt off of that Verdant Catacombs.
Burning Inquiry. Make Jeremy discard his only lands in his hand.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's got to be what you're hoping for, right?
That would be solid. Solid. Yep, there it is. 3 cards.
Nice guy helping Jeremy out. Said, hey, I know you mulligan. Let me help you get some more cards.
Mm-hmm.
So many cards. This one, and that one. It says this one, and this one. Oh, a Karn was one of them.
Well, it's a good place for a Karn.
Yeah, in the graveyard.
Hollow One and Phoenix, not a good spot to be in, but we do get a Hollow One for free.
Hollow One is a 4/4.
And a pass. And there is a Goblin Lore in hand for Keenan.
Which is a nice kind of follow-up setup there.
Mind play for Jeremy. He passes back. Keenan drew Bloodstained Mire. I think he's thinking about bringing that Phoenix back. And here comes 6.
Solid turn 2 there. Swinging for 6 damage.
Pass. Power plant. Here's a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan's going to go to 16.
Yep, that makes most sense. It's not much that he can do kind of on his opponent's turn that is relevant right now. And having access to double red or double black is pretty nice. Giving him all the options now. Not that most of his deck really relies on too much double of one color, so...
Hey, drew another land.
Wow.
That's great.
Seems like the time to Goblin Lore here. I mean, he might not have any payout cards, though.
He doesn't.
It looks like it's probably just all lands and the
Yeah.
Inquiry, so... Or the Goblin Lore, I mean. Down to 15.
Yeah, he probably won't go past 15. It gets a swamp. And now I think Goblin Lore is probably fine.
Yeah, like now you can thin out your deck more. There's less likely that you'll draw lands at this point too. Oh, he's got a Brumon. That's a nice payout.
But wait.
Let's see if we can get there. Goblin Lore. I'll draw 4 and discard 3. Well, I don't think it really matters with that hand. Right. Burning Inquiry, a Street Wraith, and another land, I think were the other ones that he drew.
Yeah.
So he says, you can get rid of these 3.
Street Wraith, Burning Inquiry, hit the bin. I think he has all lands.
He now has all lands. But here's 6 more coming across. Puts him to 8. Looks like Tron is not assembled. I feel like Jeremy would have already played if he had that Yep, and he knows that that's going to be it. There's no way that he's going to come back without another Tron piece. So now Jeremy's going back into the board here to see if there's anything else that he might have missed that could help him out. Maybe more graveyard-related stuff, knowing that, oh, okay, you do have Gurmag Anglers and stuff at your disposal. Which, the Graveyard Hate does help against the Hollow One deck, but it's not going to completely shut it down as if you were playing against Dredge, right?
Right, because essentially the cards that are in the graveyard, unless they have text that says bring them out from the graveyard, you're not interacting the same way.
Right.
This deck is more interested in the discard into the graveyard than it is actually the cards being there.
Yes, exactly.
Jeremy going to 6.
Tough start. There's a Hollow One in Keenan's.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a Faithless Looting, 1 land, Hollow One. I wonder if he must have 2. I don't think this deck can work off of 1.
What, land?
1 land.
I
mean, if you're gonna Burning Inquiry, sure.
Right. If you
I feel like that's the if you have Goblin Lore or Burning Inquiry, because your chances of getting another land are pretty high. Otherwise, 1 land seems a little stiff. Jeremy says, "I'll go to 5."
Same thing happened last time. It's always a horrible feeling when you have to, like, mull down low like that.
Yeah, it's not great.
No.
It's not great. How often do you go to 4?
Depends on the deck that I'm playing. Like, if I'm playing Boggles or Infect or something like that, I am more likely to. But a lot of times I'll just be like, it's a 1-lander with 5, I'll keep it.
Jeremy lays down a tower. Keenan
back to 17, huh?
That classic modern start.
Brain's not working. 71 life.
Goblin Lore. Flameblade Adept.
Like
definitely
that.
A good start.
Yeah.
Definitely a good start. I think he has 2 Bloodghast in hand, which is really nice. Because he's going to be able to get a lot of value off of that, especially with that Faithless Looting in hand. I think what I like most about the Flameblade is the Menace.
Yeah. It's scary.
Yeah. Oh.
Double Street Wraith? Is that what it just drew?
No, one's a Collective Brutality. The other's, yeah. Pitch those Bloodghasts.
It says, hey, this guy will get +2.
Yeah, shoot. Let me go to 15.
But my Flameblade gets even bigger.
Yep. Oh, he drew a Hollow One.
Oh, actually, he'll go to 13.
Oh, he does bring in Blood Moon, though.
Yeah. Wow!
Okay, play a land and get Bloodghast.
4, 5, so he takes 5 off of that Flameblade. Go to 15. Ancient Stirrings, and he says, hey, you're such a nice guy, I'll give you a life. Alright. So for sure he's facing down 9 life next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Or 9 points of damage.
Hey, trigger.
Whether he takes
good.
any extra damage is we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, alright, so he only has 2 lands. So he can't just add insult to injury and play the Blood Moon. But he does have a Garmog Angler as well. He could... 1, 2... I think he can put him to 10. No, he could drop him down even lower, but decides not to. He.
Interesting.
So this deck is like, if you have 20/20 vision, if you have perfect information, there is a lot of lines that you can make. Like, I see a Collective Brutality, I see a Garmog Angler, and your opponent's representing 8 mana.
Alright, so he takes 9 here. Goes to 4. And then the Garmog comes out, so...
He could have had Jeremy down to 2.
He could have.
With still a Garmog.
Well, he could have escalated that Blood Moon, right? Drain, make you look. I'll discard a card so my Flame Blade gets...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
up.
he could have been
So
10 plus 2 is 12. Jeremy's down to 2 instead.
2 would have been to 1. Because
Right.
you drain 2 extra as well. So it's like 4 from the Flame Blade. Right, no. 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, yeah, no, you're right, 12. He would have been at 2. But, in the end, nothing can answer that board state. So, Keenan takes it. 2-1. That's why the deck's powerful. Like, it's explosive. Like, taking 6 damage off turn 2 is scary.
But the thing is you gotta hope that it's gonna happen.
You gotta be lucky.
You gotta hope
Gotta
it's gonna happen.
Like, it's...
I don't like hope.
No?
I don't...
When I play Magic, I don't like hope.
I don't like hope. Which makes it sound like maybe I should play Tron because it's so consistent.
True.
But I don't like to be the enemy either.
So you gotta find another deck, then, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm not playing Jace the Mind Sculptor or Bloodbraid Elf. And I'm not going to be the enemy.
No?
And it can't be the hope.
You know what you should play? You could play this deck, which is Infect, which is fun. Or you could play Boggles. I've been testing it online. Positioned pretty well against Jace, gotta say.
Speaking of Boggles...
Yeah?
So I'm gonna hit you with a situation now that you're telling me you are you're playing it online.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you're facing down Keenan, and he's playing Black Red Hollow 1.
Yes.
All right. And this is more of a situational question. That's something that actually happened in the GP.
Oh, okay.
And it caused, at least in the moment, it caused a lot of controversy.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Controversy. I love controversy.
So long story short, you play a Dryad Harbor.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about because it just so happens that...
Yeah, that one right there. That's the Dryad Harbor that you play. Now,
yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Isn't it... How do you proceed? Do you tell your opponent, I'm going to play this Dryad Harbor for my land for turn? Or do you just lay it down right with your lands and quote-unquote scum it out and then pass?
Okay. It is a forest, so you can put it in either where your creatures go, or you can put it with
I'm not being diplomatic,
lands.
and I'm saying that you need to
being
put it
diplomatic.
in the creature section.
I personally, when I fetch for it, which is usually when I'm getting it, I'm not usually playing it from my hand. But usually when I get... Sometimes you have to, right? Sometimes it's in your deck and it's in your hand. You have to play it. Most of the time, in the decks that I'm using, I would much rather it be out front and center so people know that there is a creature out. Because that is more of what I care about it doing, is you're going to be my Liliana protection, So I'll have to sag this instead of my creature, or I'll put a bunch of enchantments on this kind of thing. But I understand why kind of sneaking it with your lands, and it's just a foil land, right? It does not look like it would be a creature from the art of it. It's very easy to deceive somebody based on where you're positioning it, whether it's in the creature zone or whether it's in the land zone. Like, if I just put it down with my lands and then just pass turn, you just assume that I just played a foil forest.
That is exactly what happened.
So, yeah.
That is exactly... And then the person playing black-red missed out on that first win. It was the first game. It was the first win. Because he had it. He had a lightning bolt.
Flame Babe Adept, and was like, menace! Ha! And he's like, well, I have this guy to block, and my forest is now a blocker.
Well, the line changed because he thought it was just a forest.
Yeah.
He had a lightning bolt in hand. He could have cleared the Dryad Arbor out with the light, but didn't even think about it and did something else. It's just, I was so salty about it because, we're all sitting at home with perfect information. We're like, no, that's a Dryad Arbor. No. And you can see him thinking so hard about what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he just needed to bolt the Dryad Arbor to win.
That hurts.
Yeah. And then the judge got called, and
it was a whole.
And he was like, "Yep, that's a Dryad
Arbor."
Arbor.
a lot of people tweeting like, "Ban the foil Dryad Arbor, get that out of here. This card sucks. Nobody likes to play against that." And I can understand how easy it is to pass over it based on the art.
Yeah. So public service announcement: when you're playing a friendly game of Magic, even if it's at a competitive level, don't be scummy and just slip your Dryad Arbor out there. You tell them, no matter what zone you put it in, whether it's your creatures, your lands, do me a favor.
Dryad Arbor.
Tell me it's a Dryad Arbor. So we can play good, fun, clean Magic. That's all.
The other art for it is very different too. It's clearly, you can tell that it's not a forest based on the way that the art is for it and everything, and there's some flavor text with it, and it's just clearly this is but I play the foil one. I understand most of the time it's either in the creature zone. It's rare because the way I view it is it's a creature. Like, I'm not sitting here going, this is my sneaky blocker now. This is gonna hang out with my lands. Like,
I'll be sure to let everyone know what he does the next time he plays it.
Please do.
If I'm in the room with him and I see a Dryad Arbor, I'm gonna ask his opponent, did he announce that was?
Did he tell you what?
Did he tell you what this is?
But I do tend to announce my stuff, like, Mr. Rainforest, fetch, I'll go to 17, get a breeding pool, and talk through what I'm doing most of the time. So I don't know. It's been a while since because even when I get Dryad Arbor, it's usually in those situations where they have Lily or something, and that's like, sack a creature, response, I'll fetch, go get this Dryad Arbor. Dryad Arbor will be sacked instead. Like, I'll go through those lines, but I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm playing that deck tomorrow.
I'll be sure to ask all of your opponents.
Did he announce what he was doing? Did he try to hide that from you? Was that in his land zone or his creature zone? You tell me.